y'all. So I'm continuing my Black love stories, and this is one that I did not watch when it first came out in 2020 because I was like, man, love. I was going through stuff. But anyway, here I'm going to talk about The Photograph. Okay, so I actually really ended up liking this movie. Okay, yes, I was going through my own little things when the movie came out, but as much as I enjoy Issa Rae as a writer, producer, I was never really super into her acting. Okay, so there's that. But I feel like this was, for me, was her strongest acting performance. I feel like she was actually being somebody other than herself, and I really enjoyed that. And also, Lakeith Stanfield, I love Lakeith, and he, alt boy thing that he does, I really enjoyed that. But my favorite thing about this film, I can say, is how, yes, Michael's, the thing I can say really was my favorite thing was how, yes, even though Lakeith's character, Michael, yes, he did have like this serial monogamy problem or whatever, but the person who had the real like love and trust issues was May. And I feel like we don't really get to, I don't think we don't get to see that, but I don't think we get to see that as often, like the woman being the problem with the commitment and the person with the really with the trust issues. Trust issues that weren't caused by a man. Her issues were caused, from her mother, which is from generational emotional trauma. Because I appreciate how they showed, Violet, the grandmother, when she was young. She clearly had Christina, May's mom, when she was young, because they actually looked like they could have been sisters. I understand black don't crack, but clearly she had her when she was young. And, how her mother just wasn't a very affectionate, loving mother. And that obviously then Christina tried to do better, but you only can do better if you don't really have the tools to do better. So obviously then that leaked down to May and her inability to let anybody in and trust love to happen. So I really like that, and I want a film that explores that even more. I mean, obviously not a sequel, but like a film in general that explores, the trauma of, motherhood and those things and how those leak down to the mom, the child, the person who's trying to now date, because it's not always something that a man did. It's oftentimes, the mom. So I really enjoyed that. And also I just really like the quietness of the film. There wasn't a lot of yelling happening. There was, there was there's miscommunication, but there was no like trauma happening to the main character. Yes, there was emotional trauma, generational carry down, but you know what I mean? Nobody was cheating. Again, there's nobody doing drugs. Nobody was like leaving. Nobody was being abusive, like physically. So I just think it was just a beautiful story about miscommunications and how we just try to do our best with the things that, we are dealt with, and how we make the choice to do better, to overcome, which I think at the end when May and Michael are in London together, that's May's choice of, I'm going to do better for myself, not just to be with this man, but for myself. So I really appreciated that. So if you have seen The Photograph, please let me know how you felt about it, like down below, or if you have another film that you think is similar in that vein, please let me know, because I did comment in my review about Really Love how I feel as though that quietness, even though I hadn't seen The Photograph at the time, just something somebody else had told me, I do see how they do have that similar quiet love vibe. But yeah. So until next time, y'all.
Wanna go deep, intimate, let you in me inside.